Welcome back to DAVIRA'S Dark Side. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so instead of purchasing Halloween decor, I decided to grow my own. And this is what you are seeing right now. My own corn stalks, my own pumpkins. Unfortunately, I was not aware that you had to cross-pollinate the male pumpkin flower with the female pumpkin flower. So I don't think my pumpkins are gonna grow, or at least they're gonna be late, but better late than never, right? So as you see here, water, water, water. Now I believe that this is a male flower. And if it's a female, I'll cry. Is it a female? Okay, so in between, see that little yellow thing sticking out? That is a male. And the bees are supposed to get in there and carry all that pollination that you see on the flower, the male flower, and fly over to the female flower and pollinate it. I had no idea about this. I had no idea. I knew that bees were very important in our ecosystem. I just didn't know how important. Holy cow. They carry pollen from flower to flower to make more flowers, and it's just an incredible job that they do. And as you can see, the corn stalks, I don't know if they're going to make it this year because I did plant, I think in June or July. And they take a couple of months. So now we're back to these guys. I don't know. I think that they are just fighting over the same flower. But I never knew that pumpkins actually flowered. I did not know that, so that's good to know. And this wee guy, I guess, he won. So, to show you where I've planted these corn stalks, right in front of the house, so that when you come, you will be welcomed by a spooky cornfield in front of the house with one pumpkin, I believe. Going back to the job that I transformed, I didn't really transform it, I just cleaned it up. And all of the area that you see that does not have grass is where I had to dig and take weeds and replant and reseed, and this is what I'm showing you right here. It's interesting how different grass seeds are. What you get at the end, it's not the same as what you have. So I think you have to do some research. I did no research on this. I just thought a grass blade was a grass blade. I just didn't want bluegrass in the yard because it would not look right. So it took me possibly all summer to do this. And as you can see, it was a lot of work. This was the before, where it's back-breaking work, as I've said in my other videos. But I had to get in there. And once I got in there, I realized that there was actually a small pebbled or rock sort of lined garden that was so overgrown that these plants took over, and I got at least 10 feet on the yard. So I cleaned that up, and the brush that I'm picking up here, that is really good if you put it in a tub of water and just let it ferment for weeks. It's good for your garden, to feed your garden. At the time, I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew that I wanted to clean it up and make it look a lot better. And then once I saw the stones or the rocks that lined the garden, I thought, holy cow, that's yard that is there. And right here is where I'm seeding for the grass. And that has much more room that I actually fought really hard to get. Now, you might be curious as to why I'm wearing a raincoat and watering the grass. It's because it wasn't really raining at the time, but I was getting ready for it, and I didn't really want to get wet. So, through time, I filmed this. It's not necessarily a time lapse, but it kind of sort of is. It's not your traditional time lapse. And to fast forward everything, I didn't want to take too much of anybody's time, and it would have been boring to just... This way it's fun. It's funnier. That's what I think anyway. Right there, the tub that I was getting water from, that's where I put the plants that I dug up and put them in there and just let them ferment, and just kept on filling the water up, and that actually helps the other plants. It feeds the other plants. So and my doctor said that physical activity for my diverticulitis is good for me, and I am now pre-diabetic. The 4 years of, well, let's just say it wasn't fun. And when you choose food that is not good for you, this is what happens to you. So I am now not only trying to exercise and lose weight, but I'm trying to eat well. I'm trying to eat right so that it doesn't spike my blood sugar. And part of that journey is to get some exercise. Now, I don't do track anymore because I had so many other things on my plate, and getting certain things ready and losing certain things, it just devastated me. And this was my only sanctuary here. Who doesn't like a small campfire in the back of their house, right? Like in the back of their yard, not their house. And I don't like to be lazy, and if I see something that bothers me, I'm gonna try and fix it. I don't know if anybody else out there is like this, but okay, so I have compost on the other side that I'm going to move down in the corner, the right-hand corner here. And that was a chore because the compost that I am using is 4 years old. I think it's 4 years old. But I took that compost from where I used to live and I brought it over here, and everybody thought that I was ridiculous to do it or what have you. And it's like, no, because when you work hard on something, your house, your room, decorating, I don't know, your hair, makeup, it's a passion. It becomes a passion and you learn so much about it. And that's what I was doing here. I don't like throwing food in the garbage. And I do encourage anyone to take whatever food you have and put it in your compost for better soil. You know, don't give it to the city or the town. Keep it, and if you have a backyard, if you don't, try it anyway. So that's what I've done here, and that's what I'm doing. And once I found out that the plant that I was taking out and trying to pluck up, because it was so overgrown, once I found out that that plant was good for the other plants, if you submerged it into water and you just left it and allowed it to decay, I was crazy about it then. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm reintroducing other compost to the old compost, and the old compost was so broken down that it was rich in minerals and just so good for the earth. And that's what I used. So, and the tubs, that's what I used to hold my compost. But I don't advise keeping them for 4 years, the tubs, I mean. I would advise replacing them because the sun, when they're outside, of course you know what the sun does, and the rain. So they started cracking under pressure. Now, the apples, the apple tree that I am taking care of, I did not know that wasps did this. They love apples. They love apples because the apples ferment and they get drunk. So I was able to pick up and clean up around the apple tree without getting stung by any of these wasps because they were loaded. They were drunk. They were having such a good time and they didn't really mind me grabbing. But the smell of the fermented apples, it's... So I found these crates, Coca-Cola crates. Somebody was tossing them, and I thought, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I'll use these. So that's what I've been doing. After I've been clearing up and cleaning up. And I gotta tell you, the exercise, it's coming a full circle because I'm learning how to do things like exercise and eat well so that my body gets better, so that my body becomes well. Because I gained 40 pounds over the past couple of years, and it just, my health was going downhill because of the stress that I was going through where I used to live. And I tell you, it was not good. So this affected me this way. So moving and being here has helped immensely getting out there and getting in the sun and doing all of this. So I had to get out. Now these guys are helping pollinate the pumpkins, but if I had known before, like I know bees are so important for our ecosystem. I just didn't know how important. So please plant flowers. Don't spray your lawns. Get out there, get some work done. Enjoy the sun, even in the rain. Help these guys out, okay, please? Because without them, we're dead. We're basically dead. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this didn't take up too much of your time. I learned a lot. I'm still learning. I can't wait for the winter. And happy Thanksgiving. If I don't post again, I probably will. Getting ready for Halloween. Who's ready for Halloween? Okay. Thank you.